And I'm going to turn it over to the PA announcer, Jimmy Haig, as he announces our prescribed matchups.
At 113, for Millville, Joshua Roman. For Vineland, Lee Zinkowski. At 120, for Millville, Jacob Pentile. For Rebecca Rower. For Vineland, Jaden Zinkowski. At 126, for Millville, Jacob Pentile. For Rebecca Rower. For Vineland, Chad Short. At 132, for Millville, Alonzo Williams. For Vineland, Salim Aiden. At 138, for Millville, Anthony Romero. For Vineland, Breon Badger. At 144-pound weight class, for Millville, Breon Cobbs. For Vineland, Xavier Lugo. At 150-pound weight class, for Millville, Reginald Bonner. For Aiden Dawkins. For Vineland, Noah Cruz. Or Austin Norberg. The 157-pound weight class, for Millville, Ryan Tepper. For Vineland, Noah Cruz. Or Austin Norberg. 165 weight class, Christian Brooks for Millville. For Vineland, Lionel Powell. 175-pound weight class, for Millville, Richard Brown. For Vineland, Matt Torres. 190 for Millville, Braden Catlett. For Vineland, Josian Serrano Cruz. At 215 for Millville, Jaden Jones. For Vineland, Gio Rivera or Donnie St. Jean. At 285 for Millville, Edison Andino. For Vineland, Gio Rivera or Donnie St. Jean.
Well, they're the proposed lineups,
and remove your hats for the
and we'll see what we get now. Time for our national anthem.
This is an NJSIAA contest as part of the Cape Atlantic League. These are high school athletes and should be respected as such. Vineland High School strives to stress sportsmanship.
I thought they got my spot.
Thank you for attending and enjoy the match. Tonight we'll be starting the match at the 113-pound weight class.
So for Millville, it's head coach Jason Belinsky and Vineland head coach Jake Homiak, along with assistant Zach Nealis, Aiden Rodriguez, and Dave Homiak. Tonight's trainers, Dave Rickenbiel, Dara Tomasello, and we'll be sure to thank some of our Vineland wrestling sponsors as time permits. But we're ready to get going. So we're starting at 113 and we'll finish down at 106.
So it looks like our first matchup will be Joshua Roman from Millville and Lee Sinkowski from Vineland. I'm anxious to get this match going. Nice atmosphere in here tonight with the crowd and the fans and everything.
And both the Romans on Millville's team are two of their better wrestlers. I haven't had time to gone through everything to get ready for this, but you know, the Romans are tough, and we'll have another tough matchup with the other Roman.
Mr. Roman really did a nice job on that front headlock, circling around. Looked like he could have possibly cradled that, but he thought better of it. Got his 2 points for a takedown and an early lead. Looks tough on top.
Yeah, very long. You see the length he has. It leads to being a better top wrestler, and on your feet, making it a little bit more difficult to defend. But now with that arm bar in and the wrist, I don't know if he's going to have space to run that, as he may switch off to a tilt here.
Well, he does a real nice job on top, even splitting the legs with his knee, not allowing the Vineland wrestler to gather up and get a base. And he looks like he's running a nice bar series here.
Wisely, Leland bumps out of bounds. Get a fresh start, 50 seconds. And so many times on the bottom, it's that first move. A little false start on top.
Yeah, that first move, that means everything. Vineland wrestler had a nice attempt at a stand-up, but he left that arm back.
Yeah, trying to block off, but it just sets you up for that wrist control. And now booted in on legs. Roman in a nice position. But you know, in high school, there's no riding time. So all this, you still have that 2-point lead, but just as easily you get that escape. And there it is for Vineland.
Well done. He really did a nice job fighting off those legs, maintaining his base, and then coming up and working the hands to get an escape. That was well done by the Vineland wrestler.
Right now, Leland needs to establish some of his motion, gets in deep on a shot.
Great shot.
He's going to be able to score
what
that
a finish.
To the head.
Well done. What a nice double. Gathered up, elevated that double, and really did a good job finishing it off for the 2 points.
Well, we talked about the length of the Millville wrestler, Romero, but then you saw the length that Leland has, just reaching out and really sucking that in.
Yeah, sometimes you've got wrestlers that look like a little bit of a Mutt and Jeff, you know, I mean, but you'll have a guy a little shorter and stockier, but these two guys physically are evenly matched.
So after that initial takedown, the escape and the takedown by Vineland has Vineland up 3-2.
That was a great first period for the Vineland wrestler, even though he was a little bit out-wrestled in the first period. He really did a good job coming back to take the lead.
Oh, boy.
Really like to see him clear that head.
There you go.
This is tough. Tough position here.
It's almost like a 50-50 scramble, and now the hands are unlocked. Just hope to give up the one and not
There's
the two, and he
neutral.
does a great job doing that.
So we're tied at 3.
Both kind of just standing in the pocket, not a lot of motion.
Yeah, I'd really like to see that Vineland wrestler more head fakes, a little bit more motion. He has a nice shot.
Just hold for that stalemate here. Come on, keep that toe back. Oh, off your hip.
Hit down. He's got to come right to his feet. Here we go. Get one, and let's start working for a takedown to take that lead.
Or at least get that stall call here.
Well done.
Merrill lets him go. See, when you're a moving target, it's so much harder for the guy to decide when to shoot.
Yes.
And that goes for both wrestlers as they both are just standing in the pocket. Nice throw by.
Nice throw by, yeah. But both wrestlers, when they've shot, they've scored. So here we go. Gather up. And two. No two given yet. There it is. He draped the leg and was able to get control. Well done.
Nice job making sure he lets go of it with that cross face.
Now he looks like he's working his cradle series.
This is 2 periods in a row. Vineland's last to score. And those are points you can't get back. So great job by Vineland scoring late in both periods to take a lead. And I guess what we would call a toss-up in a very important match here.
Yeah, I mean those short time points, they really do a number on your opponent's psyche.
It's almost like next one to shoot is going to go up by 2.
Seems that way. A nice attempted throw by. Right on that edge.
Official Buddy Treen calls him out of bounds. 1.5 minutes left, 1 point Vineland lead.
Really like to see that Vineland wrestler take a shot with his elbows in a little bit tighter. Looks like his arms are getting caught coming in because his elbows are elevated away from his sides a little bit. That's a nice shot. Now the question is, can you gather up?
Re-attack.
1:10 left in the match. Vineland 6-5. Millville kid seemed to be pretty adept at that front headlock.
Oh, he wanted it. Certainly did, and he's looking big for the cradle, but drives him out of bounds.
Oh, Vineland wrestler dodged a little bit of a bullet there.
Now you know you don't want to be in that front head, so when you go, you've got to go. And 2 out of 3 times, Leland's been able to pull it in and score it.
Yeah, even if you can't score off that initial shot, you have to quickly circle out to get away from that front head. Nice fake shot. See if we can gather here.
Score that headlock. Keep driving.
He's got to dig his hip. Dig his hip in and keep driving his feet.
Now circle out. Well, great attempt.
That was a nice attempt. I'd say he really did an awesome job, even though it was a failed attempt, a great attempt, but didn't score. But he did a nice job protecting that lead, getting out of bounds.
Well, Jankowski did that, but now Millville's got to come here. 20 seconds left.
Yep.
Next shot's got to be Millville.
I'd really like to see Jankowski wrestle smart match for this win and really.
I'd like to see him run away now with 10 seconds
I'd
left.
like to
keep backing up, brother.
Put your butt right on that out of bounds line. Oh, wow, that's a backbreaker. Romero scored a takedown with about 5 seconds left to go. Yeah, that'd have been a real good opportunity late in that match for that Vineland wrestler to put his butt on that out of bounds line and protect that lead.
Yeah, because he had, not that either one was stalling, but he had made more full attempts at stuff.
Correct.
And that's time with 22 seconds when you come back in. We're going to circle, no deep ties, post off everything.
And you had a stalling call to give, so good effort on both wrestlers' parts.
At the 1 point penalty pass for Millville, Jacob Pindau. For Vineland, Jaden Jankowski.
Jaden working a nice front headlock himself here. I'd really like to see him snap that head on to the mat. Not the two wrestlers that seem to be equally matched physically, huh?
Yeah, and I don't think you want to get into any kind of ties up top with the Millville wrestler because, you know, he was digging and working. Great takedown. Look for that fall right to his back.
Now we can jump sides here to a headlock, or we can circle back to the head, which he's trying to do, and work that cross shoulder. Nice job getting a Turk in there. Now he just needs to dive forward and post his left hand on the mat, but the wrestler from Millville does gut it out and get back to his base.
That was a big 5-point hit there for Vineland.
Jaden seems to be doing a real nice job on top. He's got that cross wrist he's working. Looks like he's trying to walk that head right to the opponent's knee, which is a perfect technique for cradling up their wrestler. There he is. He had a 1 count.
I don't know. You going back on your feet, or are you taking the top, or we're going to give it away? Vineland's going to go down and try to add to this lead.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Jaden get a nice escape here and start working from his feet. He looked like he was pretty dominant from that position.
Boy, does that look familiar. It looks like Jake Homiak grabbing that leg and finishing so well. Right
Nice.
to the head. See some of the coach in him there.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to secure the fall here.
He's in great position.
There we go.
Great job. Well done. Very well wrestled match by Mr. Jaden Sinkowski. Did a great job finishing off that takedown for a pin. And that makes it Vineland 6, Millville 3, going into the 120-pound match. I'm sorry, the 126-pound match. This looks like it's going to be Rebecca Royer, Rich?
Yes, sir. And Salim Aiden. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's
Chad
Shore.
Skewer. Sure.
You know, we've had some experience with, you know, now it's getting much bigger, the females wrestling. See, legal headlock.
Yeah, the arm slipped out of there.
Sure.
1 point for Millville.
I don't know if you were still with me when we had a par at 103.
No.
Ah, well. The advantage is on the mat, you know, where you're physically stronger than most. Each male is, I don't want to get into a thing, but they're stronger and more mature. So when they're on the mat, it matters. On their feet, you know, it's an even go.
Well,
so right now, she's got her takedown. She's got a Merkel set up.
She sure does have a Merkel set up. She did a great job attacking the head and arm with that Merkel to get the 2 points. Now we have a real nice reversal here from Mr. Shore. And it looks like he's going to get back out of that as well. And he finishes it off with a pin. Well done from the Vineland wrestler.
It's kind of what I was alluding to. They were like body to body there in a 50-50 tussle, and that's where, you know, against another female, she scores that. I mean, you could see Rebecca can wrestle, but it's just a little bit of that strength difference.
Well, she definitely had the skills putting that Merkel in to get the initial 2 points in the match. But, yeah, Mr. Shore, he did a good job coming back and was able to muscle his way to the win. Looks like we have Alonzo Williams and Salim Aiden.
We'll wait for Mr. Haig to let us know across the way. So Vineland looking for their second win in a row versus Millville, winning last year's match after losing the two before. And a quick takedown.
Yeah, so we have Mr. Williams from Millville and Salim Aiden from Vineland. Looks like Mr. Aiden's a little bit of a leg wrestler. He went for his boots right out of the gate. And he does a nice job securing that early takedown.
He certainly doesn't lack aggressiveness. You know, and when you're new at this and you're learning, the worst thing you can be is passive. Be aggressive.
Yeah, it's a typical Vineland Millville match, right? I mean, seems like both kids on both sides are all geared up, and they're going after the wins out here. He did a real nice job knocking that knee down.
Boy, he transitioned to the other side really nice.
Yes, he did. Yeah, so Lee Man did a really nice job. He's got that 4-1 lead, and now he's going to work on top. I like that call, letting him go there.
Yeah, you've got your two takedowns in the first minute of action, and it's probably your best chance to get him right to his back. Well, there's just so much to learn about wrestling when you're new at it, you know.
Sure is. He did a nice job finishing that takedown, taking a nice 6-2 lead. I don't know, Rich, 23 seconds. I think I might cut him here.
No. Well, you're going to prove right if he turns his hips over now. I'm going to hope for that stalemate.
Well, he's under the arm, so he's in good position there, but he is high.
Keep stuffing that head under. That head pops, you're in trouble.
And he did a nice job holding on. He ended that period.
Yes, he did. That's been a theme for Vineland tonight, scoring the late points in the match, you know, up till that third period in the opener.
Yeah, they've done a great job on short time, rallying for points.
And their finishes, their transitions from when they're in on a double or a single, it's almost like they slide back and forth, and they're really feeling the opponent on top of them and knowing which way they have to take them.
No, you're right. You're right. Whether it's gathering up to finish or like Mr. Aiden's been doing with knocking that knee down and attacking the far knee, he's done a really good job on his feet. I'd really like to see that Vineland wrestler get that knee in between the Millville wrestler's legs on the mat to keep him from gathering his base.
Well, you hear the Vineland bench yelling wrist and half, and he's really close to getting it, and you can almost see how if he did it, that would be the thing to do.
I think this is a good call here, letting him up, and then let's work for two.
There you are.
Well done.
Oh, half again. It looked like Williams was getting ready to make that offensive attack.
Aiden just seems to he seems to get a little high with his legs on top and his hips.
Yeah, and formerly being in the coaching arena, you can tell that's a problem they're working on at practice, that he gets high and gets himself in trouble. Vineland has a 5-point lead now halfway through. The last thing they want is him getting high and having his head grabbed, because that looks like what Williams can do.
Yes.
Williams hasn't shown the ability to get an offensive like there.
Yes.
His head's on the mat. If Williams pulls that over, you're looking at 5 points. So that's why we're hearing that wrist and half. They want to keep him under the arm so his head can't get too high.
I think the best offense for this Vineland wrestler is to go on his feet.
Let him go.
Let him go, and let's work for two.
I say we let him go. Now this is dangerous.
This is a bad position
if he
for
can
Vineland.
scoot that half up.
All that
right now, I'd be calling illegal 4 on the body and giving Millville a point to get out of that position.
Yeah, and if that Millville wrestler can clear his right arm, he's going to score here. But Salim's doing a real good job controlling that right wrist. He really is.
And be yelling for a stalemate. Now, way to recover.
What
My
a great
goodness.
job.
It was scary, but he certainly recovered great, didn't panic. Now he's still got to get back.
Yeah, I tell you, Salim doesn't give up on his moves.
No. There is no bail in him, which is awesome.
Yeah, he's committed. He did a great job gutting that out and avoiding any points for the Millville wrestler.
There we go, back on our feet. Nicely done.
That's a good job.
So anytime you have a lead in a third period, you want to kind of just get back to work. Don't be tying up. Don't get some hooks in. Don't give them a chance. Don't push too hard. Just keep your leg attacks going. And Salim's done that now as he looks to finish.
He does a really good job gathering up for that 2 points. Salim's really doing a nice job setting up the Millville wrestler. He backs up. He waits for that wrestler to step with his left leg, and that's what he's shooting on time and again. Looks like we're going back on our feet. The Millville wrestler gets a point, making it 10-4 Vineland.
Well, great call by the Vineland coaches because they know the only way he loses this is riding too high and getting turned. Let's see if he's going to scoot across here.
Yeah, I'd like to see Salim really tuck that head under the arm so that he can't be cross-faced and try to gather up here.
The old coach of me coming out, I'm getting ready to yell, stalemate, trying to stop.
Millville wrestler does a nice job defending that shot and scoring 2.
And this is the first time on top. So we'll see what he has on top.
Well, it looks like he's got good wrist control.
He's going to jump back and forth, trying that wrist and have Vineland warned with a stall. With 45 seconds to go in the third, Vineland up 4. I think Salim feels comfortable down there just to hang out, but here comes that wrist and half. Great job getting his hip down.
That's a full Nelson, Rich. Millville wrestler was able to touch both sides of the Vineland wrestler's head, and that way a full Nelson was called and a penalty point awarded to Vineland.
Now, there's no way Millville's going to let them up. They're going to stay on top. Try to get that wrist and half going in 30 seconds.
All the more reason for that Vineland kid to really break it out of there and get an escape.
An escape and a takedown gets you a major, too.
Sure does. We've got 15 seconds left in this match. Another stalling call against Vineland. Point for Millville.
Point for Millville.
And that should wrap up this match.
It's going to be 11-7 for Vineland.
Salim Aiden, 11-7 over Mr. Alonzo Williams. It was a hard-fought match, both sides.
So the team score now is Vineland up 15-3. As we hit 138, this will be Breon Badger, most likely against Anthony Romero. This could be a good one.
Safe to say the match of the night?
I would say so coming in.
I don't know much about the Millville wrestler, but I know Breon has quite a pedigree down in Vineland Mini Wrestling coming up here, but, before he got to the high school. Millville wrestler does a great job defending that shot.
Yeah, Badger with a ton of mat time starting at a very young age. And of course, this is the biggest I've ever seen him. Last I saw him, he was about 80 pounds.
Correct.
He's a grown man now. As Badger comes in for that double, tries to drive it through. Romero puts the brakes on and they go out of bounds.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Breon go a little bit more open here and stay out of those ties with some movement and head fakes. Looks like every time he ties him up, that wrestler from Millville is able to slow him down a little bit.
That's a great point. I mean, I know as somebody that wasn't fluid on their feet, like I didn't want somebody moving around with tons of action, you know, and Breon is gifted on his feet where a couple level changes get him out of position and then you attack.
Sure. Nice fake shot, go to a front headlock, start wearing on that opponent. Breon did a great job defending that takedown attempt.
It's almost like don't go the first time, take a little half shot, get the reaction, and cut back the other way.
Exactly. That does a number on you when you keep shooting under your opponent and coming up empty. It's frustrating, but it also wears you out. I'd like to see Breon take a nice outside single attempt here without the ties.
Well, this is where Breon's done all the work so far. You know, he gets another shot off, you get your stall call on Millville, or at least you should, because, you know, Romero hasn't been able to get his offense going, and it's Badger going at him again.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think that's it.
Let's have the other guy do something, eh?
I think you're looking at 3 shots to none here.
And that's got to get rewarded. In the last match, we saw Vineland wrestler Aiden on the bottom and stopped for 10 seconds, and he got a stall call. There you go, Badger.
Great job.
Right at the buzzer.
Another takedown in short time. That was a great job by Badger.
That's what I mean. It's like somebody lays there for 10 seconds, it's a stall, but yet you don't do anything in the first period. You don't get the call, and he shouldn't be doing anything if he was able to get away with it.
Exactly.
Oh, gutsy move by Badger,
wow.
but he's got it.
He got it.
He's stuck him.
What a great job
That
by
is a
Badger.
massive pin for Vineland.
What a great victory. Wow, he really went for that, Rich. You're not
Boy,
kidding.
that was gutsy. He was in about a 60-40 split there. He was going to get it or he was going to give up 4. Badger with the gutsy, beautiful finish. Sticks Romero, gives Vineland a lot of extra points there.
What a great job by Badger to finish that match.
Boy, and there's that second where it's like boom, and
Yeah.
they both stopped, and Badger just powers through it over a quality wrestler and sticks him.
For Millville, Breon Cobb. For Vineland, Xavier Lugo.
Vineland with a comfortable 21-3 team score lead.
Xavier Lugo on a great shot.
Nice trip. Now we need
so
to finish.
close to finishing, but very athletic, getting back to his feet was Cobb.
Great job. Like to see him elevate the hips. There we go. Nice job. Well done.
Well, he got that tight waist in on the way down, too, to be able to control him.
Sure did. The only thing, it looks like he's looking for a wrist. And that Millville wrestler's a strong opponent. He's not giving it up easy.
Almost, man. He didn't post that arm. He was going to be taking that far shoulder and turking him to his back.
That's a real nice attempt at a Turk, too, by Lugo. He really did a nice job. Just missed it by a little bit.
Seen a lot of nice things from Lugo in this short time. I don't know Xavier. Haven't seen him wrestle before, but he certainly has a game plan.
He goes to a nice claw ride to stop that first move off the bottom, and he's really going to work here with a nice
switches
tilt.
it to a tilt and scores it. All right, take him back.
Did a great job with that near side tilt. Scores 3 for a near fall. He now has a comfortable 5-0 lead.
And he transitions so smoothly.
He really is tough on top.
He got away with a locked hands there.
Yes, he did.
Great mat returns. And that was my pet peeve. A good mat return is demoralizing.
It does take
be
something
there,
out
be
of
there. Sorry about everybody out there. Used to telling the officials what they need to do, and it just pops out sometimes.
Xavier did again, hit a really nice near side tilt.
With 6 seconds left in the period.
Great job. Looks like we'll have the end of the first period. with Xavier Lugo leading Breon Cobb 7-0. Xavier really did a great job on top. I'd love to see him go to work for a full period on top. Well, it looks like he's going down this period, but I don't think he's going to be held down for long. He did a great job clearing that wrestler.
I was going to say the same thing. You saw the Millville wrestler go for it, and he just crossed his arms up.
It was no longer there.
Now, Millville wrestler's trying to get a mat return that Lugo's done to him a few times, and wisely, Lugo just hooks the leg, and he can't take him down. Great motion by Lugo now. Wait for him to tap and go.
Nice.
Now take your time.
Elevate that ankle.
Oh, he wanted something big.
He did. He was looking for a cradle. Let's clear that. I'd like to see him clear that Millville's wrestler's leg. There we go. And now it's an easy trip. Well done.
Boy, I'm really impressed. I mean, what we saw with Badger last time, I knew how good of a wrestler Badger has been, but not knowing Lugo and watching this, boy, there's an awful lot there.
Yeah, he really shows a lot of potential. He's aggressive on his feet, on top. He's very smart. He has good technique. Very impressed by the young man.
And you can see the development between 2 matches ago where, who was it, Aiden, you know, really wrestled fantastic and great, but sometimes would get high. Lugo, you can tell, has a little more mat time, that he understands that position, and that's just the transition all these young Vineland guys are going to be going through, getting to that next level. It's nice to have a problem where your guys do too much instead of not enough.
Well, Xavier on a nice shot. Looks like he almost switched to a double momentarily. Going for a knee tap.
Always felt like the biggest thing when you have a leg up is motion.
Absolutely.
Get him defending so he can't grab onto you. You know, all our years, me and you wrestling each other, if you stood still, I was hooked in something. Oh, now he's going to Michigan Series 1 on, but he's not able to trap that far shoulder in time. We're down to 12 seconds, 12-1, Xavier Lugo.
Xavier did a great job finishing that shot. He's really wrestling well tonight.
It's also great to see a nice crowd in here. You know, Vineland looking to go to the playoffs for the first time since '88.
Wow.
That was there's another tilt. That's your brother Jeff's team a year after I was out, 2 years after you were out. And, you know, it's a program that's on the rise. You know, it was only a couple years ago where things weren't looking great, not able to fill out a lineup, and it's just continued to grow. Great job by the coaching staff we mentioned earlier.
And as you alluded to earlier, before the match started, really a credit to what Timmy DeLuise and his coaches are doing down in the minis. They're sending up some quality kids. Xavier did a great job coming to his feet.
You know what the other thing is? It's like you can take a new guy in high school, and if he sticks with you for 4 years, he's going to be something. And this coaching staff can do that. But the problem is who's going to go through the whoopings you got to take your freshman and sophomore year to get there. Yeah. So when they come up from mini wrestling, and if they do, and even if they're in a room with kids that did, you know, they can figure it out much quicker.
Right.
You know, where you're able to be competitive.
Yeah, that institutional knowledge in the room, the depth in the room really makes a big difference with your practice partners and other wrestlers who maybe aren't as experienced, developing as a result of that.
Well, we've seen that when we were coaching. You know, you have a couple kids that are really good. Well, the weight class before them and after them that they're working with develop a little bit like them on their own there.
We got 1:45 left in the match.
Let's get that tech, Xavier. There he
captured the head.
There he is.
Well done.
So just one more takedown or one more turn as the score is 15-1. And he's going for that cradle.
He sure is.
Nice crossface. Way to load it. I would just bump and run, don't roll.
Yeah, what great mat awareness, too. I think it would have been very easy for Xavier to go for another kneel side tilt to get 2, but he's going for the pin.
There it is.
Great job.
Match.
Yeah, it really would have been, I think, a lot easier for Xavier to go for that near side tilt to get a tech fall, but he went for it for the benefit of the team and did a great job finishing. Well wrestled match.
When Vineland wrestled Buna and I wasn't able to make it and you came, did you get to see him wrestle there?
I did. He wrestled well. He wrestled real well. Vineland really did a great job against Buna. I mean, they really dominated that match from beginning to end.
So we're heading to 150 with Vineland up 27-3.
It's been a dominating night for Vineland so far.
Now wrestling, the 150-pound weight class for Millville, Aiden Dawkins. For Vineland, Austin Nordberg.
Well, this is one of those matches where styles can make a difference. You've got the Vineland wrestlers a little taller and lankier, and you've got the Millville wrestler, Aiden Dawkins, who's a little stockier, a little more compact. We'll see how this plays out tonight.
And this one, of course, isn't over yet, but Millville's got to get it going soon.
Yeah, their opportunities as far as the team score goes are really diminishing rapidly.
This is where sometimes when you know what's coming and how things are going to be, sometimes the biggest win of the night isn't even a win. It's giving up a regular decision instead of these falls.
Instead of a major, exactly.
You know, Vineland with 4 pins tonight. That's 12 extra points they've gotten. That's like winning 4 more matches.
You're right.
And for Millville, just that 7-6 last-second decision.
So we've got about 50 seconds left in this match, and Millville wrestlers up 2-0. Norberg doing a great job coming to his feet.
And you know who's doing all the work
What a
there is
great
Millville.
job.
Nice job to even it up. 28 seconds to go, and he's going right for a crossface cradle.
Austin Norberg did a great
Get
job.
it, Norberg.
maintaining
You're
his
so
balance.
close. One more big push. Lock it up.
He's got it locked. Jam your left knee into his hip and bring him into your lap.
Oh, nicely
There it is.
done. Oh, my goodness.
What a great recovery. Austin Norberg did a great job from coming down from 2-0 to tying it up at 2-2 and working a cradle for the pin.
With under 10 seconds to go, 8.5 seconds. You know, as you mentioned, you're taken down. He's returning you. He's returning you. He's doing a lot of that work. You know, it wasn't popping his hips. He's lifting, and he gets a little sloppy. You think you're happy with Norberg getting the reversal, but then the second they hit the mat, right to that crossface cradle. Great transition. Well done, Fighting Clan.
Yeah, Norberg was not happy with just a reversal. He wanted that pin, and he went out and he got it.
Now wrestling at 157-pound weight class for Millville, Reginald Bonner. For Vineland, Noah Cruz.
I didn't see Reginald Bonner on the weighing sheet, but
Noah Cruz, I don't know if he ended up leading the team in tackles, but he was top 5 in tackles as a sophomore for the Fighting Clan football team, and he's had a strong mat season.
did a great job on that shot. He's really quick on his feet.
Well, we've seen something from Vineland tonight that, you know, they're all long.
They
You-
are.
You know, they have great length and they know how to use it.
Whether it's 113 or heavyweight, they're at least 6 foot, everybody.
Let's see what happens here. You're running on a team like this. Their one win was where they were hoping maybe to get a few extra points, and they pull out a win. And now seems like everything's not going your way and you press, and that'll get you in a hole.
Well, you can really see what Vineland focuses on in the wrestling room, too, on top. And they're clearly going right to that cross-face cradle first chance they get. .43 seconds left, and Noah Cruz is winning 2-0. Did a good job stopping that first move from bottom.
And a great job not locking his hands like.
And I really like the way Noah's driving his left leg right between splitting the bottom wrestler's feet and trying to keep him off balance. He's doing a nice job on top. Not something you want to do. Ooh, you got a neutral there, huh? Okay.
See, there you're just trying to, we talked about Millville maybe backing down, but that time it's Vineland doing too much with that momentum going. As Noah could have just held on there.
Yeah, it's never a bad idea to hang your head a little bit when you have a cradle locked up, but you can't hang that head on top if you do not have the cradle locked up. Millville wrestler did a good job recognizing that and working a point out of it. So beginning of the second period, 2-1 Vineland.
I don't have any grandkids yet. My kids are just in turning 20, but it's almost like I came back and our old wrestlers are showing us their kids tonight, and it's been a great showing. Very proud for everybody. Peterson there.
Yeah, we saw Mr. Salmucci over there, one of our old wrestlers. His son's in the Vineland Mini program. That was really in a good position here. It might not look like it on TV, but he really is in a good position to come out of this and score.
There you go, sit him down. Got to sit him on that right hip. You want to pull your right arm through, get a little shoulder pressure up top.
It was a little bit of a quick stalemate call on the half of the ref, but I guess they were in that position long enough to justify it.
Well, I can see that stalemate call being okay, but there's 10 other times tonight when you may want to stop it if you're going to do that one that quick.
That's a second caution for the top man.
So what do you do if you're on the bottom this time?
You got to flinch an arm.
Oh, yeah, boy. Shake that elbow.
Little shake of the arm.
Shake that arm. Watch yourself.
One more caution on Millville's part, and that will be a point for Vineland. This is a tight match. 3/4 of the way through the second period. It's 2-1 Vineland.
Well, Bonner's certainly showing his strength there as he's in a nice ride.
He's in bad position there, though. And we should be in neutral. And we are. Nice scramble by Noah Cruz. A little payback with that head that was hanging low.
Ooh.
That was a nice shot. Really defended well.
That's disheartening for Millville. I mean, you make a great shot. Noah does an awesome job elevating them through.
Really did.
Bonner has a mouthpiece in, which the only reason I noted is it makes it almost impossible to breathe.
It really
so
does.
As this match goes on longer, I don't know how many more bursts he's going to have. Maybe one more burst on a blast double, and that may be it.
About 20 seconds left. Noah's really doing a good job pushing the issue here on his feet.
Circle out, circle out. Oh, no, don't step over.
He might just work that for a takedown, Rich. All he needed to do was clear his head. That's where Matt's sense comes into play, and I know that's a lot of times that comes from experience, but in a situation like that, as you alluded to, you would like to see him really circle his butt to the out-of-bounds line in case that position gets any worse for him.
Especially with just, 10 seconds left when they got there.
So third period, 7-2, Vineland.
Well, Noah Cruz has done it. He's built this lead up, but it's been a game Bonner that's making it difficult on him.
I'll tell you, Reginald Bonner really has a nice shot.
He just leaves his hands up.
Reginald Bonner with a takedown on the edge. He did get a 1 count.
Well, Bonner's motion is nice. His level change is great, but he leaves that right arm up, and that's allowing Cruz to just underhook it and fight it off a lot.
Reginald chooses to let him up. Go neutral on his feet, which I think is a good call for the Millville wrestler.
He's got a headlock there.
He's got a cradle he's working for. I'd like to see him secure that takedown before he went for that big move. Great shot by Noah. But he's got to know his positioning on the mat. Pop your head and you've got 2.
Nicely
Great
done.
job.
Boy, the timing of that shot was really good, too.
He's going hard for that cradle, and he has got it hooked in. And he's getting a count. Vineland, once again, Noah Cruz does a great job of hitting that Vineland signature move, which is the cradle tonight.
I don't think we had 3 kids that long. Did you get a look at Coach Homiak on the side there? That's a great body to have for wrestling, but it's not a cradle body. He's got short little arms like me, short little legs.
He must have a sore neck every day of practice. He's looking up to pretty much everyone in the room. No, a real nice job putting that boot in.
How's he going to score that? He's going to switch to a Jacobs or just get it like that there?
He just needs to back hook that arm of the Millville wrestler, and he really has a chance to pin.
Boy, it's been all but one opportunity that Cruz has gotten, probably 8 out of 9. He's been able to control and build up a massive lead. It's going to be 16-4, a major decision.
Great job by Noah Cruz. He really fought hard during that match and really took advantage of his skill on top to score some good back points.
So we go to 165.
It looks like it's going to be Tristan Broads from Millville. Lionel Powell from Vineland, waiting for the official call.
Now wrestling at the 165-pound weight class for Millville, Ryan Tepper.
Ryan Tepper.
Lionel Powell.
Okay. So they bumped Mr. Tepper from 157 to 165 to face Lionel Powell.
Vineland's been attacking. They've been physical.
Yeah, Lionel does a real nice job securing that first takedown and does a great job stopping that Millville wrestler's first move.
I've not seen 30 different things tried, but what I have seen is a team that wrestles what they do in the room. You know, you see what they drill, you see what they do.
Now they've done a nice job. The thing that's impressed me about a lot of these vinyl wrestlers is how well they finish for pins. They're not just happy winning the match. They really want to get that pin for their team, for the team points.
And Vineland looking to get some team points tonight to try to get in the playoffs. As I mentioned before in the beginning of the broadcast, Vineland is 7th with 26.4 team points, and they have to get to 6th where Eastern is with 27.3. So 0.9 difference. Anytime you beat somebody by 30 points, you know, it ups your points. That's the most you can get from a match.
Sure.
So Vineland may not be just wrestling for the win here, but needing to win by 30, 35 points to try to get themselves into the playoffs.
Yeah, they're wrestling for their playoff lives. Lionel Powell, again, a great double, and he does a great job finishing. Right to a 2-on-1 on top.
Tepper back to his feet, trying to get one before the end of the period.
Good mat sense so far on behalf of Lionel Powell. Just about 2 seconds too late on that return to the mat.
Oh, another
Take
cradle.
it back. And that
He's going to
should
give
be a
him one
reversal.
or nothing. Let's see. That's it.
Vineland wrestler escapes that without giving up a reversal. Really like to see Lionel wrestle a couple more minutes on his feet here to really wear down that Millville wrestler, and then that cradle will be there.
I'd like to get it when his knees are on the mat, though, instead of that tripod up position.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Lionel just a little high in his ride.
You know, that is the most difficult thing to try to teach is how to ride.
He does a great job bringing the Millville wrestler back down to the mat.
Yeah, all their mat returns are safe. They're not pulling guys on top of them or anything.
There we go. I think that's probably the best thing that could have happened to Mr. Powell right here in the match so far is to get that escape and go back on his feet.
And back the other way.
Great job finishing that. Tack the far leg off a single. And
He's
he
got
has
it.
the wrist in half.
Keep going. Now you got him flat. Now you got it.
Reload that across in front of your body and reattack. But that Millville wrestler is strong. He was able to break that hold.
And Tepper gets an escape with just under a minute to go here in the second. It's 6-3 Vineland.
I'd just like Lionel to stay as aggressive as he's been so far in this match and gather up that shot and finish for 2. Well done. Lionel's just missing coming up to that body to attack with that half Nelson, but he's doing a great job with his takedowns. Now
20 seconds.
He has a stalling call on him, Lionel does, so he needs to be careful here. Ten seconds left, yep. Well done. Oh, elevate that ankle.
So 165, we're 8-3 going into the third. Lionel Powell for Vineland on top.
It's like Lionel's going to need to take a little injury time here.
Why the trainers come out to check on Powell. Vineland High School Wrestling Program would also like to take a moment to thank their sponsors for the season. Gold sponsors, Giordano's Recycling, Homiac Transportation, DeLuise Signs, Rock Towing, South Jersey Litho, Comar, the Old Vineland Tavern, Johnson's & Sons, HVAC, Legion MMA, Jersey Girl, Public Adjusting. Silver sponsors, Lorenzo's Barbershop, Garrity family, and bronze sponsors, Advanced Eye Group, Ken Baldessaro and family, Jolanda Gonzalez and family, Nigel family, Pham family, Homiak family, Janet Rojas Ford and family, Brown family, and the Bosco family. Thank you, everybody who helps make everything possible and keep this growth of this Vineland wrestling team going.
It's great to see all the sponsors and support that Vineland has. So Lionel looks like he's recovered from his injury. And we have about 1:45 left in the third period. Lionel has a comfortable 8-3 lead. But as always, we would like to see him add to that score.
You know, and for both teams, full lineups pretty much here, and it was just 2-3 years ago where both teams had about 4 or 5 forfeits in, so both on the rise. But Vineland's technique coming through tonight.
Vineland wrestlers really seem to be attacking that double leg takedown from their feet.
Oh, what's that?
They're going to call that a chicken wing.
I thought we had him bellied out and had a wrist and
going
to run a bar.
Been nice for that referee to give the Vineland wrestler a chance to adjust his bar, though, before stopping that action.
Because it's, it's potentially dangerous when you put pressure on it.
Correct.
You don't have to stop it in the beginning. You're absolutely right. Give him a second.
Lionel has a really good position here if he wants to run that cradle.
He's just got to get that knee to the mat.
He's working it. Under a minute.
So now he's going back to that bar. Grab that wrist.
He's in good position with the bar.
He switches over to the half.
Great transition. Tepper was able to belly out.
We're down to 25 to go. Vineland up 10-4.
Millville wrestler gets an escape with 15 seconds left. I'd like to see Vineland finish strong here with the takedown.
And Tepper takes a shot. So we have 1 second to go. So that about does it for this one.
Looks like Lionel should be able to secure a 10-5 win for Vineland. And that should make the Vineland-Millville score Vineland 40 and Millville 3. Great effort by the Vineland wrestler.
So that actually clinches the match for Vineland with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weights left. Listen to this one. 6 times 5 is 30, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 33. We're in good shape. So Vineland's clinched the victory off of Powell's win, but now trying to get those power points to move them into playoff contention for the first time in 2000, in 35 years.
That'd be a nice accomplishment. So we've got Tristan Brooks from Millville and Matt Torres from Vineland. I've known Matt's dad for quite a few years, an accomplished athlete in his own right.
Do I know Matt's dad too?
I don't know you do.
Okay, I didn't know if we knew him from here. Sometimes I gotta be reminded.
Oh, his dad, Robert Torres.
I was thinking Frankie and Gilbert.
I remember those two.
Yep.
Frankie ended up going into the Marines, and I believe he made a career of the military, which is good to see. He was a good kid.
So both wrestlers just feeling around, trying to figure out what's going to be open there as we're over a minute into this.
believe they used to call that the Syracuse spin, Rich.
Oh, beautiful mat return by Torres.
Really nice job by Matt getting that takedown. A lot of his Vineland wrestlers are doing a great job with that claw ride as well. They seem to have pretty good positioning with their hips, and they transition well to the cradle from there.
And you can see you can just add so much on. Some of the more experienced guys hitting tilts off of it and transitioning. Last match we saw him try to transition to a bar off it. Here comes the tilt.
Really nice job by Matt doing that roll through tilt. He did get
just
a 2
in
count.
time. Nice job,
There we go again.
Matt.
Short time points, Rich. It makes all the difference in a match. Matt did a great job with that roll through tilt, getting a 2 count for 2 exposure points on the back. And we are going to the second period. Matt Torres with a 4-0 lead. Matt Torres, nice job. Noticing that that Millville wrestler was high and secured the head and was able to score a reversal with a 6-0 lead.
It's kind of nice how he kept scooting back in, getting his hips underneath and to be in that powerful position.
Referee was looking for locked hands on that one, but they weren't there. Matt did a good job with that positioning of his hands.
And you could see that all night as Vineland transitions. They'll just stick their hands under the belly without touching. You remember what it was like teaching new kids how to wrestle without locking their hands. It was a nightmare, but a great job. Oh, he's got him stuffed.
Look at
this. Take your time. You got a whole minute, brother.
All day long. Squeeze and let it come to you. There it is. Great job by Matt Torres. He really muscled that Millville wrestler over and did a great job finishing.
It's one thing to muscle him over, but to have that patience too. It was a little bit of both, that strength to do it, and then that body control, patience, and positioning to secure the fall.
Well done by Matt. Rich, I don't know, all the years we've been involved in Vineland Millville wrestling matches, I don't remember a score quite as lopsided as this.
No, and we're going back to the early 80s. This has been all Vineland tonight.
At the 190-pound weight class for Millville, Braden Catlett. For Vineland, Josian Seriano Cruz.
So Braden Catlett from Millville and Josian Cruz from Vineland. Some athletic-looking 190-pounders.
Not like the olden days. Who's Millville's? Is it
Braden Catlett? Vineland wrestler trying to come out the back door here.
Lift that head. You got to crank his head down while you lift yours. There you go.
He really does an outstanding job.
Cruz in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to try to sit up when he starts to go. It's to pop your head, but you don't want to be in that position.
He's doing a great job fighting it off, though. That does take a lot of energy out of you.
Catlett gets him over. Cruz trying to scoot out. He's got to keep his post up. Big, strong back bridge. Cruz back out front, but his leg's too close. Catlett's going to take it and secure it.
Cruz is such a strong wrestler. It takes a lot of strength to come out of that pinning combination.
Yeah, and Cruz weighing in at 175. He's up at 190.
He's giving up a lot of weight.
There you go, shake it off. 3 seconds, 2 and 1. So there was two 50-50 spots, and the first two went to Catlett. Cruz just needs to get the next one to get back in it.
Yeah, Catlett just had a little bit better positioning in both of those scrambles and was able to score off of that.
Well, I know the difference in my matches going from 170 to 189. Like a lot of my stuff wouldn't work.
Sure.
So you got to be patient. It's a bigger bump than that 5 pounds down low.
Absolutely. It's pretty impressive. Cruz giving up that much weight, bumping up for the benefit of the team to the 190-pound weight class.
You see that gather strength by Catlett.
Yeah, Catlett really moves really well on his feet. He has a nice shot.
That's where Cruz, you just keep battling. You're going to get another shot. Just keep battling.
Here we go.
So we're at 10-2 Millville. Team score 46, Vineland 3 Millville. Millville opened it up with a win in the first weight class at 113. And then it's been all Vineland since. Nice shot by Cruz.
Like to see him switch to a single there so he's not fighting both of those legs.
You
Especially
see
giving up weight to a little bit of a bigger wrestler.
You see Catlett experience, grabs the ankles, stops the momentum. And Cruz just going to try to power out of it, but his ankle's caught.
A great job by Cruz clearing that half Nelson attempt from his head.
Another very good defender on the Vineland football team.
It's amazing how well the two sports complement each other.
Especially when you have coaches willing to let everybody do both.
Wrestling doesn't do anything but make football players better.
That's it.
So we're at the end of the second period, beginning of the third. Catlett has a commanding 14-2 lead over Cruz, but Cruz is battling hard. There's no backup in that young man. We need to get an escape here and start working on getting our points back.
See the experience with Catlett, like he knows all the little tricks.
Cruz really doing a good job coming to his feet and working those escapes.
So we're at 14-5 in this one.
I think that should be 14-3. Unless we started giving 3 points for escapes, I don't know.
Uh-oh, we got 1-0 now. We'll take it. Here comes your, get that headlock.
Cruz
Drive.
with a headlock, and he looks
And
like
Cruz
he's got
hasn't
two.
scored. He's got Catlett on his back. Take your time. You got a
With
minute
that-
22. Just start to lift that head.
And he's got at least
There it
2
is.
points.
Now lift the head. Lift the head.
And
Oh, my
what a
God.
great comeback.
What a job by Cruz.
He made the most of his opportunity and squeezed for everything he had. What a great job by Cruz to come back down 14-3 and win that match.
And you know what? There was 4 or 5 times in there where Catlett's experience got him the points. And it was Cruz just coming back. Get on your feet, give it another shot. Didn't work. Get on your feet, give it another shot. Didn't work. And the one time Catlett makes a mistake, there's Cruz not just scoring the headlock, but then takes his time, gets his backs, waits for him to kip his hip over, and just an outstanding job. And we got another headlock coming right now.
Oh boy.
Who's going to get it?
They went right after it, didn't they? And what a lot, coaches obviously had a lot of confidence in Mr. Cruz sending him out at that weight that he could get the job done, and he really came through. So it looks like we're at Jaden Jones from Millville, Rich.
We got Jones from Millville, and I believe it's Giovanni Rivera. There's another headlock. Who's going to get it? Who wants to come in front? Who wants the knee block on it?
Vineland wrestler's in good position to
Oh,
score
watch
here.
that
He's got to be
knee.
careful with his hips.
Oh, I'm worried about that Millville's guy's
Yeah.
leg pulling back like that. Oh, great fast transition.
That was a very aggressive takedown on behalf of the Millville wrestler. And he does secure the pin. No matter what the outcome was, I think you could see early on in that match somebody was getting pinned.
Oh, yeah, it was. And you just thought it was going to be that headlock battle, but that transition from breaking free to that vicious double was like fire. Congratulations to Jaden Jones. As we go to heavyweight.
Vineland has a commanding 52-9 team score lead.
Now wrestling at the 285-pound weight class. For Millville, Edison Andino. For Vineland, Donnie St. Jean.
Well, my eyes don't deceive me, Rich. It looked to me like these two 15-pounders were bigger than our heavyweights.
Yeah, the heavyweight for Vineland, Donnie St. Jean, weighed in at 215.9 today. So he's actually up going against a 232-pounder in Edison Aldino. And Edison, very physical, gets that fall pretty quick.
Yeah, Edison did a real nice job with that takedown, securing the takedown, and then moving right to a cradle. Getting a big 6 points for the Millville team.
So Vineland 52, Millville 15, one match to go. And, you know, they start at that random weight, so we're going back down to 106.
At the 106-pound weight class.
It's Mackay Webb. Nice double by Webb.
Mackay Webb wrestling from Vineland. Caleb Rhodes from Millville.
My gosh, I never would have recognized Mackay. The little bit I did at the middle school level after done coaching here, Mackay was about 4 or 5 in that room.
This is going to be a lot of action in this match. As always, I'd love to see Vineland end the match on a high note.
Mackay, a big 103.
He is a tall 103-pounder. That'll round out the scoring. As Caleb Rhodes secures a pin, and that should make the final score Vineland 52 and Millville 21.
Vineland by 31, which I believe 30 was the number you're looking for. So Vineland able to do it, but Millville rolls back with 3 falls in a row to end it up, but not before Vineland had a dominant lead. We started out at 113, where Chinkowski lost in the last seconds to Roman. Millville took the lead, and then it was Jaden Sinkowski with a fall, Shore with a fall. Tight one there for Aiden over Williams. And then it was Badger and Romero, which was going to be the highlight match. And boy, Badger just picked up 6 where you're thinking you can get 6, but hoping for a win. And that was really big to start the momentum rolling. Then Lugo with a fall. Norberg with a fall. Cruz gets a major. Lionel Powell with a decision. Torres over Brooks. And then the last excitement we had for Vineland was Josan Cruz, who ends up coming in down by a lot of points and keeps fighting back to get that opportunity. And he gets that last one and gets the pin over Cadet. That'll help him tremendously. Catlett. And then at the end, it's Millville's 215, 275. Jones and Andino picking up falls, and then Rhodes over Webb to end it. So Vineland 52, Millville 21. The score sounds really close, but when you start where you did, kind of was a no-brainer. But imagine starting up at 215. Ooh, it would have been some really interesting when we hit 190 that way,
you're
Boston,
right.
because momentum does matter. You know, if you wrestle them in a different order, because when Vineland got on that roll and when Millville saw Romero get decked, you know, you put your head down for a second, and by the time you pick it up, there's 2 more falls and a major by Vineland. Great job by the Fighting Clan tonight.
Rich, you're absolutely right. I mean, the Vineland Fighting Clan, their wrestlers came to wrestle tonight. There was no backup in them. You didn't see anybody crawling off the mat, gasping for air. They were in great shape, mentally and physically, and they really went after their wins. I'm really happy for that Josan Cruz, though, because down the road, obviously, it was a big win for his team, but when you look at the district tournament, if he does go at that weight for the district tournament, that just really enhances his ability to get a higher seed than that mobile wrestler.
Yeah, and you know, there's a couple other things before we sign off that we saw tonight, which was Vineland wrestling like a team. Vineland had a philosophy and things they were going to do, and they looked good doing it. And you didn't see any attitude on the mat from Vineland. You didn't see any lapse in discipline. You know, you have a stud football player out there catching down 12, 13 points, and there was no attitude. It was, I'll give it another try. I'll give it another try. And sure enough, it paid off. Outstanding job by the Fighting Clan. Can't wait for the next one. Hopefully it'll be Vineland in the playoffs for the first time since 1988. So this is Rich Scarpa. James, any final words?
No, just thank you for having me, Rich. It was a great match. Very impressed by the Vineland wrestlers. They showed up tonight. And they showed what that team was made of, which is very impressive.
Well, it's Old Timers Night as all the old timers are walking up to the table. I got Pistols and Baldy walking up. So Rich Scarpa for James Clay. We will see you next time. Great job, Vineland.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.